Welcome back to Chapter 7, Orthographic Projections, and this time we're going to start doing some hand sketching. Now before we get going, I'm going to be on page 728. I'm going to be doing the example orthographic projection that's shown on that page, and I just want to kind of talk through it to show how it's done. First, let's do it the easy way. Okay, so SolidWorks is up here. You can go to the Courses M drive and go to ENR 153, and I have downloaded all the example files from the author, so I can double click on SHIA book downloads, and I'm going to go in Chapter 7 examples, and let's go to example 1, third angle projection, and this is the model that is on page 7-28 of your textbook. So let's take a look at this object. So what we want to do is, in theory, enclose this in a glass box and then show what the front, right, and top views would look like all on a 2D piece of graph paper. Alright, the easy way to know what these things are going to look like once you have a 3D model is actually quite simple. Let's just hit the keyboard and let's look at the front. Okay, so that's what our orthographic projection of the front would look like. We can always check to make sure if there's hidden lines by coming in here and looking at hidden lines visible. Notice there's none. So this exactly is what we'd have to sketch on the front. Let's come on over here. That's the front. Now let's go to the top. This is what our top view would be. And let's go over to our right view. Okay, so our right view does have a hidden line because there's this back edge right here in blue. Okay, and when you look at it from the right side, you're not going to see that because it's going to be blocked. So go to the right. So we can very easily see what we should be sketching right from SolidWorks. Now, if that is not easy enough for you, okay, let me show you also what SolidWorks can do, and you may have already seen this in a previous lesson. But we can go ahead and let's create a new drawing. Okay, so I'm going to do New Tutorial. I'm just going to go Draw. Okay, so it's going to pick up a drawing. Now, if it has this checkbox only show standard formats, it's only going to have these ISO ones. So why don't you go ahead and unclick that, and let's just use a straight ANSI landscape. We don't need to display any sheet formatting, which is all this stuff with the names and blocks and stuff. So we'll put OK, and there's our regular sheet of paper. Now what we'd like to do is we want to put a model view in there, and so it's kind of asking us. So I'm just going to double click on this third angle. Now what I can do is I can create multiple views. I'm just going to click on that there, and then click on top, click on right, click on isometric, and I mean, this is just basically cheating, isn't it? It's so easy. Boom, there's the isometric, there's your front, there's your top, there's your right. The only thing, look, because the defaults come in without hidden lines, just make sure display style, you just click on a view and hit hidden lines visible. And I'll just do that on each of them and click on this one over here. Click, and there you go. So anytime that there is a 3D object, SolidWorks can very quickly and easily generate the multi-view drawing for you. Now let me switch over to the textbook now. Your isometric, this is customarily the front view, the top view, and this would be the right view. Alright, so let me draw the views based on how this is oriented. Now you could actually choose any three directions, but these are the three I'm going to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drawing what does the front look like. Alright, so I'm going to create some little lines right here and count the number of dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 dots. So I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to start right here and I'm going to make a little edge right there. Now remember, use pencil and have one of these things around. They're called erasers, or you can use the eraser on your pencil. But I've just created this first line and I'm going to label it 1. Okay, so there's line 1. I'm then going to create this line 2, which is 4 squares. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's line 2. Okay, line 3, it's going to go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 squares up. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to be there. So that was line number 3. I'm going to see this, which is line 4 right here. And then line 5 is going to come down 2 squares. So there's 5. And then we have line 6, which is right here. All right. Now, I still haven't done this angled piece, but let's come on up here and notice that from this corner here up to there, it's going to be 1 square up. So we're going to do 1 square up, and this edge right here, let me just call it 7. Okay, so this is line 7. So this little square is this inclined surface. So if we look from this so-called front from over here, I've got an L shape that I see. Now the one thing that I'm going to look over here is there any edges? And there is an edge right in here. Let me just do a dotted line. Okay, there's some hidden edges here, and it's this one right here, which would be this plane. Okay, that's going to project in and be a hidden line on the front. Now, how many squares over is it? It's, okay, 1, 2. It's 2 squares over, 1, 2. So I would put in a little dot, dot, dot. Okay, so this little dot, 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 which is right there, okay, that's what represents what I'm going to call number 8. Okay, so that would be my front. All right, now I'm going to do the top. Okay, one of the things is that in both the front and the top, we're both seeing the width of the object. So I'm just going to project some little lines up above. Okay, and let's draw this shape right here. Let's do line 6 up here. Okay, this is the front edge. All right, so I'm going to start maybe a few squares up, and I'm going to draw this shape. Now 6 technically only goes to this edge right here. Okay, but why am I extending it? Because then it's going to pick up 4. So this is actually line 6 and line 4 all in a line if you're looking straight down at it. All right, now how far back does this thing go? All right, so let's just count the squares this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then this is going to be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go back 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here. All right. So back on this edge here, I'm going to draw a straight line. Okay. And it's going to go over 1 square. Okay, so let's call this line 9 right here. This will be line 10. Okay. 10 is going to also pick up this edge over here on the what looks like the left. All right, then I'm going to pick up this edge right here, which is going to be 11, and that's going to go actually all the way to the front. Okay. Then back here, I'm going to go 1 square. and I'm going to put that in. I then have to go forward. It's hard to see here. One, looks like 2 squares. Let's see, 1. So I guess it's 2 squares in. And then I'm going to come out and I'm going to see this line. And that looks like what the shape would be from the top. Now, as we do look at our top, so I'm going to just label this top, and this is front. I see that the top, notice that there's a back edge here. Anytime there's like some kind of cavity in back, you're going to get a hidden line. So this hidden line is showing that edge. Okay. Now, also from the top, we're going to see this line 7, and that line 7 is going to be in a couple squares. So that's where 7 is. All right. I know I've got a lot of numbers going around here. We're up to 11. 11 was over here. So there we have the front and the top. Now, if we're going to do the right-hand side, let's go over 1, 2, let's go over 3 squares. So now, this would be the right side. I can see I'm going to see line number 1. That's going to be right there. But I'm also going to see line 5, which is going to go up 2 squares. Okay, so I have line 1, I have line 5. And then I'm going to have an angle over here. So it looks like it goes up 1 and over 2. So looking like that's going to be that edge there, and I'm going to call that line 12. All right, because looking at the right, you're going to see that little incline right there. All right, now we're going to see line 11. Now, how far do I go with 11? Well, 11 I can see is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I'm going to be at point 9, and I'm going to come down a certain ways. All right, and I'm going to call this line 13 is right here. Now, here is the front of the object, 4 and 6. Okay, this is the front edge. This number 9 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 squares back in the top. So in the right view, it should also be 13 should be 6 squares back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm good. All right. We're also going to see this line 14 from the right. And that's going to come straight across here. So there's line 14. All right. This line 8, which we couldn't see from the front, which is actually going to be right here and right here, that's line 8. I'm going to see it. It's going to be 2 squares in from the back. So here's line 8. All right, and then I have this little rectangle that connects 1 to 8. Now, lastly, we're going to see this shaded surface here, so we're going to come over and be like that. Now, from this vantage point, using the front, the right, and the top as our principal viewing planes, I don't have any hidden lines except this one number 8. Okay, so this would be my right, my front, and the top. Now, let's check that versus the SolidWorks. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the SolidWorks. All right, and let's just turn this around. Now, the way this was oriented in the textbook on page 728 is that, I'm just having trouble with my mouse, this is the front. Okay, so it's really the left, but let me come over here and look at the left. So that's what would be considered my front. Okay, and let's look at it with X-ray vision, and notice that I've got a hidden line sitting right in here. I have the same hidden line on my drawing. And and then I've got a little L, and I've got a big L. Okay, so it looks like that looks just like my right or my front view. Okay, what in SolidWorks is the front is actually in the textbook, it's the right view. And I've got my line 8, I've got 2 rectangles, I've got an inclined line. That looks the same as what I have on my drawing. And then lastly, the top, okay, in this case it's going to be just rotated 90 degrees. Okay, so I've got an inclined surface here. It was a little hard in the book to know how far that is. I guess it was 1 square. This is a little bit smaller than what I have. So I'm going to just adjust my drawing because I see counting in the book. So I'm going to come on over here. From line 5 to 7, if I just drew a line down, it's actually only over 1 square. So I need to move line 7 over 1, which then that's good. It's going to move this line 12. It's going to change that just a little bit. All right, but I had the essence of what was right. It was just hard to count squares. When you count squares in an isometric view, you have to count them along the line of the dots, either 30 degrees from lower left to upper right, 30 degrees from lower right to upper left, or straight up and down here. Okay, those are the 3 principal directions. But there it is, 728. It looks pretty good. I made one little mistake as to where that little line went, but overall, not too bad. But you can see it's a lot easier doing it in SolidWorks than doing it here. But it's a good academic exercise, and you're only going to do a few of these for homework, so enjoy them.